Hey, hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a fun way to support the channel is by leaving a like, by leaving a comment or multiple comments. Tell me what you are planning on doing this afternoon. Like, what exactly is your plan? Give me all the details, just because, you know, algorithm. Or by subscribing if you have not already done so. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. At the moment, the news is kind of all over the place, but I'll tell you exactly why it's all over the place. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says Bitcoin's price is only 10% away to $70,000 as exchange withdrawals hit a 4-month high. The amount of Bitcoin and also Ethereum on cryptocurrency exchanges continues to decrease in a rapid manner rate, whatever kind of word you want to use there. The amount of news and the momentum about Bitcoin's price and where Bitcoin's price is going to go has not slowed down. Interestingly enough as well, I guess not interestingly enough, we all know exactly where this is going. The amount of crypto on exchanges is also, rapidly declining. This is a very good metric because normally, I hate the word FUD, but it's appropriate here. We would hear something along the lines of that if the amount of Bitcoin had remained the same on exchanges. But boys and girls, nope, everyone's taking off their crypto from these exchanges because a lot of people locking them up away forever. I don't think I even have them in this video, but the amount of rich people this week who kept on mentioning that crypto was definitely here to stay, added to your portfolios, not financial advice, I'm just telling you what they said, was quite monstrous. On top of that as well, it says, here's what's next for Bitcoin. After top cryptocurrencies' new record high, according to trader Michael van de Poppe. Basically, the price is going to continue going higher. I don't have to tell you what he thinks is going to happen next. It's basically everyone's expecting a 6-figure Bitcoin within the next couple of weeks. And then basically it is blast off from there. It says technical analysis. Ethereum dips turn attractive. Key indicators point to a fresh increase. And it says Bitcoin's price could surge to $89,000 in the near future. This was said by a technical analyst. You want to know what's weird? You know what didn't make it into the news? The cryptocurrency market dropped last night. Not a heavy drop, but Bitcoin is currently down, but it says 3.75% at the time of me making this video. Normally, if we have a crazy price surge upward and Bitcoin, goes down by 0.5%, everyone's like, well, this was it. It was a nice bull run. I'm glad we got this far. Nothing. All the news, I keep hitting this cord and I don't know what's wrong with my hand. All over the place was just look where Bitcoin is still going to go. Bitcoin is going to hit these numbers. There was also some Bitcoin futures ETF news about the anticipation. I think today's Friday. I'm pretty sure today's Friday. About the anticipation of the next launch of the other second Bitcoin futures ETF thing that's happening today. There's also options expiry, and this is happening, and so, and get ready for the moon, and you kind of get the idea. So the price news was very sparse. Not a lot of it going around. I was quite shocked because I really expected kind of like a big, oh boy, woe is us kind of thing. But every website was just talking about like Bitcoin's trajectory to $100,000, which is quite nice to see because realistically, we all know that it's going there. And the quicker everyone else realizes, the happier we'll all be. Anyway, that's all the price news. And without further ado, let's move on now. In one of the most popular news stories of the day, Walmart has partnered with coin caching machine company Coinstar and crypto cash exchange CoinMe, a lot of coins there, to install 200 Bitcoin ATMs in stores across the United States. Although the pilot includes only 200 kiosks, the broader launch plans to eventually see the installation of 8,000 Bitcoin ATMs across the country, according to Bloomberg. According to Bloomberg, there has been no further details on timelines as of yet. According to Coin ATM Radar, there are currently over 25,000 Bitcoin ATMs at select grocery stores and service stations in the United States. Coinstar operates 4,400 kiosks enabled for Bitcoin purchases across 33 states. Now, when I saw this, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, because we've had news similar to this before. We used to have a lot of, in 2019, a lot of brand new Bitcoin ATMs in this state kind of news. And I was like, fantastic. But it is important because it's Walmart. I don't live in the States, but I know that there are a bajillion Walmarts all over the place. And this allows for like actual access for everyday normal people to be able to get into the market. We've gone over this before. It is, even now, it's been many years, but even now it's still like you have to find a trusted place online that sells the cryptocurrency. You have to enter all your information. You have to enter in your so-and-so. You have to make a new wallet. You have to make an external wallet if you want to send it off. It's all these extra steps that you kind of have to go through to get into the cryptocurrency space. But if you can walk into a Walmart, put something into a Coinstar machine, and you get a QR code, or you simply scan a QR code to get your Bitcoin automatically on your phone or onto your wallet, that's actually incredibly major. The thing that I always hope for or wish in situations like this is that normal people do pay attention to these things. I assumed that it would still take a very long time for how do I say this? Remember, I still think this is going to happen. Like, when banks finally start offering Bitcoin to their like normal clients, it's going to be in fractions of fractions of fractions of fractions of fractions of Bitcoin, because the bank will have, you know, the hoard for themselves. So in situations like this, where Bitcoin's price is still expected to hit $500,000 or $1 million over the next couple of years, the people who would benefit the most are people who would be able to go to the Coinstar machines in Walmart to be able. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's like whenever we get these kind of big movements for actual adoption, I love it, because I don't want Bitcoin to just be owned by 8,000 really wealthy people who are already billionaires. I want it to be the 350 million people living in America who don't have normal. Anyway, you understand what I'm saying. So I hope it works out. I assume they have some kind of an inkling that it's going to work out if they have 8,000 more machines planned. But yeah, quite popular news. What have you. We'll see if it works out. Because, I think for me, it appears clear that in my eyes, the cryptocurrency space is going to do incredibly well over the next 5, 10, 15 years. But I also want everyone else to go along for the ride, because you are going to have some friends and family members, I'm telling you, in the next 2 to 3 years, when the prices have exploded, so the analysts say, who are going to be a little annoyed that you got into the market when they didn't. And that's not your fault. Don't blame yourself. I have a friend who blames himself for the rest of his family not getting into the market. That's not your fault. It's just so you know. But this gives them a chance. I'm going to stop talking now. Anyway, ATM, Bitcoins, Walmart, big. Is that a sun sign? I have no idea what that's supposed to be. Anyway, let's move on. Also in very popular news today, the $5.5 billion pension fund for the U.S. city of Houston's firefighters. I assume that's not Houston. I'm going to say Houston. Houston's firefighters has announced an investment in Bitcoin and in Ether. This investment marks the first announced investment in digital assets by a public pension plan in the United States. The Houston Firefighters Relief and Retirement Fund, the HFRRF, okay, the pension fund for the city of Houston's firefighters announced on Thursday that it had purchased Bitcoin and Ether for the defined benefit plans portfolio. And I didn't have to read it out because they just said exactly what the quote says right here. According to Bloomberg, the Houston Firefighters Relief and Retirement Fund has $5.5 billion in assets and has invested $25 million in Bitcoin and in Ether. The investment was facilitated by the New York Digital Investment Group, or New York DIG, a Bitcoin investment arm of Stone Ridge Asset Management. And it says it somewhere around here, like this was the first actual announcement. These investments have been taking place for quite a long amount of time. It's just that we usually get news about the allocations for them sometime down the road. Oh yeah, we actually, this pension fund and this so-and-so and this retirement fund. Like if you've been here for a while, you know that I get really oddly excited every single time that we get news about some type of a retirement fund that's also investing in this. because it's no longer about the very short-term prospects. It is the longevity of Bitcoin and Ethereum and how high they're going to go over the next 15, 20 so or so years. So when these people do retire, they actually have a huge amount of money in the game as well. But for some reason, this one really made a lot of news. I'm pretty sure Houston, Texas. It doesn't say. I'm pretty sure it's Houston, Texas. Yeah, it doesn't say Texas anywhere. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it's Texas. Texas has been one of the more open states to cryptocurrency, so this doesn't explicitly surprise me. Wasn't there like a mayor or something who was talking about getting into cryptocurrency mining? And I mean, Texas seems to be at the forefront of, the cryptocurrency space, if you will. So yeah, super popular news. I hope it works out for them. I only have 2 tabs open because it seemed ridiculous to have all 8 tabs open talking about the exact same thing. But yeah, I know the other funds and pension funds and retirement funds and mutual funds will eventually get into the space. It's just that this happens to be the first one who announced it publicly. Let's move on. Also in the news, major fixed income investment firm PIMCO, that is PIMCO, it sounded like I was singing BINGO, is familiarizing itself with digital assets and increasing its exposure to the space. PIMCO, a global investment management firm, recently confirmed that it is slowly increasing its cryptocurrency exposure. Chief Investment Officer Daniel Ivaskin said some of the company's hedge funds were already trading crypto-linked securities. What? That's crazy. He even predicted that digital assets could eventually disrupt the entire financial system. Well, that's just crazy. What do you mean that's going? Of course that's going to happen. We all know that it's going to happen. Just billions of other people still have no idea. The CIO revealed PIMCO's crypto exposure in a recent interview with CNBC. He said the firm might start trading crypto as part of its trend-following and quant-oriented strategies before doing more fundamental work in the space. For now, the company's investment strategy will be a gradual process. The firm has spent considerable time speaking to investors about digital assets and will continue to do so. It plans to take baby steps when breaking into the rapidly growing area of cryptocurrency. I remember saying the word PIMCO a couple of months ago. I guess the news then was that they were thinking of potentially getting into the cryptocurrency space, and since maybe because they missed out on Bitcoin hitting $49,000 and now it's almost $70,000, now they're thinking of getting into the space. I'm not really sure, but yeah, this was also quite big as well. I mean, anytime you have $2.2 trillion asset manager, of course they're going to actually make it into the news. I still believe all these companies and funds and institutions have been in the space for 7 years already. I think that they're now publicly saying these things because you can have subsidiaries of subsidiaries and, you don't technically own the company, wink, wink, but they can still trade for you, like not under your name. It's the same exact thing. I'm not sure if you've seen the news, but I have. The people from Libra or Diem, DIEM, which was created by Facebook to make their own digital currency, were recently in the news saying that Diem and Libra are not Facebook. They know, like, we are completely separate entities, but they're not. So it's kind of the same exact thing. Someone else on the side who you created can do something else and still trade in crypto. But the main company itself technically is not doing it, even though they kind of are. This is what I was saying like the other day when the New York Stock Exchange listed back. But the New York Stock Exchange created back, and back is the New York Stock Exchange and the ICE. Anyway, so cool. More rich people getting into the space. Can't wait to hear about them making money. And then them being like, oh yeah, we got into the space years ago and everyone else should have done so, but we did it and just didn't tell anybody. And let's move on. This is actually one of my favorite news stories. Because I do believe that is true. Ripple's chief executive officer, Brad Garlinghouse, has been airing his thoughts over the state of the crypto market and regulations, and a grudge over the financial regulators' approach to Ethereum appears to have surfaced. Speaking at the DC FinTech Week virtual conference on the 21st of October, the Ripple boss declared that Ethereum had been granted a regulatory green light that enabled it to surpass Ripple's XRP token. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has been pursuing Ripple's over claims that XRP is an unregistered security. In January, Ripple filed a Freedom of Information Act requested with the SEC demanding to know why it considered ETH a security, didn't consider ETH a security. 6 months later in July, a district judge allowed the company to depose a former SEC official who declared in 2008 that Ethereum was not a security. 5-year long story short, the SEC for some reason has only given regulatory clarity on 2 coins. When they did this, we had roughly around 2,500 to 5,000 coins in the actual market. And everyone believed at the time, I knew that they wouldn't, because I still believe myself that something is amiss, because the SEC came forward and basically said that Ethereum was a commodity and they had no control over it, yada, yada, yada. And then about 4 days later, they were like, okay, someone from the SEC said that they believed that Ethereum was not a security. Ethereum's price went up, but then the SEC was like, this is not an official declaration of anything like that. And then a week later, the SEC was like, yes, we do consider that Ethereum is not a security. And everyone was like, well, cool. Next coin up is going to be XRP. Then they're going to say the same thing about Litecoin. Everyone assumed it would be like a tumble down, but silence. That's as far as they got. And everyone was like, okay, cool. As long as they say what these things are, we can still move on as a market. The cryptocurrency space is really something's happening in the background. You know what I'm saying? I believe that money is moving back and forth between entities because something should have given at this point. We would have assumed that the SEC would have declared Litecoin either A or B, that they would have done so to XRP and yada, yada, yada. This was during the time when we were having the discussion, if XRP is a security, the market would care for 2 months, and the people would realize as a security, the coin itself would be able to be traded on actual stock exchanges and stuff. So that was also entirely a different idea in and of itself. But the speculation went, as it stands, and has stood for quite a long amount of time. XRP was the number 2 cryptocurrency. Like, it skyrocketed past Ethereum, and there was a lot of discussions as to if XRP could actually become the number 1 coin. That's around the same exact time when the SEC was like, well, Ethereum's not a security. It's definitely a commodity. And that caused Ethereum's price to be able to actually flip XRP, and XRP became the number 3 coin. And then everyone was like, well, clearly they're going to clarify XRP, because that boost gave Ethereum a huge regulatory push. It allowed people to be able to know that, hey, not only could they invest in it or promote it or whatever, build on top of it without having to register with the SEC, but, it's more decentralized in this manner. They never did that for any other coin. No other coin has regulatory clarity except for Bitcoin and Ethereum. But it makes you wonder once again, if in 2018 they gave regulatory clarity to 2 coins, why then did they not do it to every other coin? Because the argument is for the SEC's lawsuit against Ripple, well, you are an unregistered security and you've been allowing Americans, this is the entire idea from the US SEC, that Ripple has been allowing Americans to be able to trade in this security without actual regulatory clarity from the SEC. Well, that's funny, because the point of the SEC is to protect American investors. If you knew that Ripple had been doing something fraudulent, air quotes, since 2018, why not tell them to protect the American people over the next 3 years? You would allow the American people to buy back and forth and trade this unregistered security to harm the American investors for what? It's kind of weird. So I really assumed, because this was also around the time, remember all those other I think Telegram was trying to make a coin, Kik was trying to make a coin, and those were completely squashed out because they were like, no, these are clearly securities and you haven't registered with us. And we're like, cool, regulatory clarity is coming, because it's all that the SEC seems to care about. So I actually like that Brad Garlinghouse said this out loud. Not that I admire him. It's more of a, if you've ever watched news programs, TV shows with him, he's very like drying paint. Like, He's always saying the exact same things. It's always very cut and dry. He's always like, yeah, well, we believe, regular, and he sits inside of this like very prim and proper box. So to actually, he's frustrated with the entire thing. I just kicked the entire table. He's frustrated with the entire thing. So just to have him act more like a human is kind of nice. Anyway, I do not assume anytime soon that there's going to be any regulatory clarity for XRP at all. The SEC is interesting and special, and I am interested to see in a more decentralized world where these protocols don't fall under the jurisdiction of regulators, how they're going to deal with that. That's a nice way of saying it. I'm proud of myself. Pat myself on the back on that one. Anyway, that's the Ripple news. And let's move on. Also in the news that people tried to make news, but it's not really news. There's been a petition over the last 2 weeks or so, somewhere around there, where people have been signing a petition to try and get Shiba Inu listed onto Robinhood, because Robinhood has Dogecoin, and this is kind of what brought Robinhood into like the extra forefront in the investor space over the last year and a half or so. So as it goes, I'm not really following this, as Robinhood has not commented on the petition that's currently going on to add Shiba Inu, another platform called Public has added Shiba Inu to their platform. And there were a lot of articles that were basically kind of like, oh, snap kind of things, you know, being like, well, they didn't do it, but they did it. That's crazy. And it's like, everyone's going to eventually add all the most popular coins. Shiba Inu was coin number 55 or something like that. It flew into number 13. It's going to turn some heads, especially if other people aren't doing it and, you know, the main players aren't adding it. But I'm pretty sure it's also on Coinbase as well. I guess the last drop in the bucket, I don't know, is supposed to be Robinhood, and then, you know, all will be well. Anyway, that's the Shiba Inu noise. News. Because this was really kind of popular as well. That, what are they called? Public added Shiba Inu. Sure, why not? It's a very popular coin. It's going to continue to be popular regardless if Robinhood lists it or not, but I know that the extra trading volume, of course, would help. Yaha. Let's move on. And to finish things off, in news also that people tried to make bigger news than it actually was, last evening, a couple of hours ago, Binance had a flash crash on their website. And a lot of websites were like, a lot of crypto news websites were like, oh man, that's crazy. You can't have those. Flash crashes happen all the time in the cryptocurrency space. All the time. They just only make the news when it happens to Bitcoin or Ethereum. They happen all the time. Not that I'm standing up for them. It's not really, it's maybe like around 20, 25, maybe 30% of actual humans who are still trading. All the other trading is done by algorithms. Like, it's actually bots who are doing this nonstop. And sometimes, you know what's really funny? Here's a really interesting part, and I'm sure a lot of people don't even know this. So you know how bots actually trade? Because people have actually trained the trading bots, to actually also read as well, if you will. So let's say there's a new article that was like someone just hit publish. As that article went out, there are bots who are told to read certain websites to kind of gauge the sentiment and the metric of what's happening in the cryptocurrency space. If there's an article that comes out, multiple articles on 15 different websites, pay attention, that all say Bitcoin heading higher, Bitcoin heading higher, Bitcoin. So like, you know, it's kind of this thing that tells the robots that Bitcoin's price is going to head higher. Robots can read an entire article in a fraction of a second. The amount of time that it would take a normal human to read an article, fraction of a second. So by the time that article has been released, these other articles have come out, the robots are actually have read the article, have begun trading and buying up all the Bitcoin, which moves the price higher. By the time I click on the article and read through the entire thing and then checks the actual price of the cryptocurrency market, I will then also see that the prices are going up. This isn't exactly how it works, but this is more or less what actually ends up taking place. So it's tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of robots who are trading consistently all the time. This happens also in the stock market. Like, this isn't a crypto only thing. Flash crashes happen all the time. They're just never usually explicitly spoken about. But Bitcoins tend to make the news because it's usually quite dramatic drops. We had a price, we had multiple this year, I think 2 or 3. I think one that made the news either at the beginning of this year or the end of last year was, I think, Bitcoin flash crashed to, was it $1,000 or $2,000 on Coinbase? The news being, if Bitcoin was floating around $35,000 and it was a flash crash to 1,000, and you happen to have a buy order for one Bitcoin at $1,500, you scooped up that Bitcoin. Because it was Coinbase, and it was another website. I don't remember the name of the second website. What is it called? I don't remember. But that other website was asking people to give back their Bitcoin. They were like, yeah, we had a flash crash on our website. If you could redeposit the Bitcoin that you got during the crash, that'd be great. Do you think they got their coins back? Absolutely not. Yes, I remember that. Because I was even asking people, I said, would you give that Bitcoin back? And the 30,000 comments just with the word no were quite spectacular, because no one would have given that back. I had a buy order, not me personally, but like just saying, at 1,500, it went to 1,000. Therefore, my order went through. Clearly my money. So a lot of people, I think over the last year or so, have begun to add in these interesting flash crash, like price drop acquisition numbers. And yeah, I'm pretty sure some people ended up getting it. But once again, this was, people tried to make this more news than it actually was, because they were trying to blame Binance for the drop, and it's like, no. It's the actual bots doing it. You have no idea how many bots are trading consistently back and forth. Like, it's not people sitting there like sweating. Have you ever seen the photos of what it was like in the 80s and I guess also early 90s of like in the New York Stock Exchange, and everyone screaming and waving papers and blah, 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 and all that other stuff? Have you seen what it looks like now? It's like 16 people walking around. Like, it's completely empty because everyone's at home. Like in the early 2000s, everyone went home and was using their computers. And now you have robots doing everything because, you know, it's the year 2021. So we're kind of in the future. Anyway, hold on. Why do I always do this? Nope, go away. Oh, hold on. Wait. Okay. A lot of text messages coming through. Hold on. I couldn't, like when the text message like comes up at the top and you can't click back or go anywhere else because it keeps. Okay. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Professor Wally from Gunbot University. And let's move on. Chris, Hakeem Wilkins, Empire Queen, Stake It With Valor, Fundwiser, Mortified, Roman, Gaba, Bitcoin, Ben Arachno, Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plump Tomato, Umnu, Wish Nikki, DeLetter, M. Stefan, Dirks, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way, Lay, Crypto, Black Sheep, AJ Gut 5, Speedy 655, and Carlos was like, Mobarazi, Jojo, Shawshow, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grole, Lauren Disable, Quarter Bitty, Bare Bones, Mining Troy, all good. Space Case, Need a Miracle, Patronaster, Conan, Oskip, Leg Day, Snacky, Chan, Tolik, Banana, Suspicious, Agile, and Blockchain, Navarro, Williams, David James, Hila Han, Yasha, Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman, High, XRP, Martin, Stoyano, Soroma, Joss House, and the Anna Marita, Baby, Phil, Todd, Mullis, Adam Graysick, More Hamaroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Jared China, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Damien, Setsuna, Rich, Third Value, Player, Paxis, Nick, Mangialavodi, Jim Garden, Jamie Fox, Minty Coins, Miller Hitch Test every day, Miller Hitch Test every day, Miller Hitch Test every day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Mouse Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Ramach, Onisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola and Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your continued support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who left a like, a comment, or comments, who has subscribed. Thank you for all the Buddy Bear support. It's been a rocky journey. I, once again, I something estimated in the incorrect direction that I'd be able to do 10,000 NFTs by myself and also upload them without knowing how to code. Woo! But thank you for all the support on the drop. Yes, at the moment, Bitcoin is currently at $63,613. It is down by 4%. Here's the little swoop right here. It looks like the market is trying to move back up, as many other altcoins are also like, okay, it's time to go back up. Ethereum, wow, geez Louise, Ethereum is at $4,100. Good times ahead. It is down by 1.5%. Cardano is down by 3. Solana is up by 5. Polkadot is up by 2. Luna is up by 6. Avalanche is up by 4. Chainlink is up by 4. Anything dramatic in either way? VeChain Thor is up by 6. FTT is up by 5. OKB is up by 11. Okay, all right. Okay. Anything else? We'll see where the market goes within the next couple of hours. I'm expecting the market to simply start moving back up because there's no real reason why we should have dropped. There were, of course, always going to be people who say that if we go up too fast, there needs to be some kind of a pullback to, to recheck the, not the base level, like the low or the level of support. And I guess that's what we're doing right now. I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all have had, continue to have, might at some point in the future have a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, or great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.